Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Unit 8.3 in class practice. Today we're continuing our discussion on adding and subtracting rational expressions. So, when we're doing this, 1, we need to make sure that we have a common denominator. 2, we have to add or subtract the numbers and leave the denominator the same. And here's a little note. If you are subtracting, remember to subtract all the terms in the numerator of that second fraction. Combine like terms, factor the numerator and denominator if possible, and simplify the answer by following the rules of canceling. So let's go ahead and get started. So I like to check, make sure we have the same denominator, and then I want to look at what operation we're doing. Okay, that's telling me that we're adding. So how many x squareds do we have on the top? I counted 2. So this goes to 2x squared, and then we're going to combine our x's. 7x minus 5x is a positive 2x, and that's all divided by 4x. Now, there's nothing to do with the denominator. We can't factor that, but we can factor the top. All right, the numerator, we can factor out a 2x, and then we're left with x plus 2. Okay, and now we can simplify. The x's cancel out, and 2 divided by 4, well, 2 divided by 4 is 1/2. And I don't need to put the 1 on the top because we have a, not x plus 2, that should be x plus 1. Hopefully you're yelling at me. So x plus 1 over 2 is our answer. Let's look at number 2. So right away, I'm noticing common denominator, but now we have subtraction. So I have to distribute that to both of those, okay? So if you want to rewrite it, this is what it would look like. X plus 2 goes on the bottom. Our first one stays the same. Our first numerator stays the same, but that turns into subtracting an x squared and a -7. Okay, so let's combine like terms. The denominator stays the same. 2x squared minus x squared is x squared, and 3 minus 7 is -4. Can I simplify anything? Yeah, the top, that's the difference of 2 squares, x plus 2, x minus 2. And the bottom is x plus 2. The x plus 2's cancel out, right? Sorry, we're using orange. I don't like that. And then our final answer, x minus 2. Since everything on the bottom canceled out, we don't have a denominator anymore. All right, number 3. I notice that they're common denominators and that it's adding. Why don't you guys see if you can do the first step and combine your like terms? Okay, go ahead and pause the video and good luck. Okay, well you guys should have gotten 15x squared over 25x. All right, and we can simplify that because we can divide by 5. Okay, 15 divided by 5 is 3, 25 divided by 5 is 5. And the x's, who wins, the top or the bottom? The top wins, and the top wins by 1. So we get 3x over 5. Okay, number 4. We check, do we have the same denominator? Yes. What operation? Subtraction. Okay, so I have to distribute that. So the top is going to be 6x plus 3 minus 4x minus 7 all over x plus 5. Okay, so x plus 5 stays on the denominator. Combine your like terms up top. 6x minus 4x is 2x. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. And then we always want to check to see if we can factor. And I can factor out a 2, and then we're left with x minus 2. And nothing cancels here, so we're just going to leave it just the way it is. All right, number 5. Do we have the same denominator? Yep. And what operation do we have? Ooh, subtraction. All right, so to make sure we distribute that to everything, our denominator stays the same at x squared minus 9. Okay, and I'm just going to rewrite this. I've got a lot of negatives, and I want to make sure everything changes the way it should be. A negative times a negative makes that a positive 2x and a positive 1. So when I combine like terms on my numerator, negative x plus 2x is x. I just combine those guys. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, on the bottom, I don't know if you noticed this, but that's the difference of two squares. So that breaks down to x plus 3, x minus 3. And when we start canceling everything, our x plus 3's cross off, and then we're left with a 1 on the top and x minus 3 on the bottom. All right, number 6. So, do we have the same denominator? Yep. What operation do we have? Addition. Cool. So, on the bottom, we have x squared minus 25. And now on the top, I'm going to rewrite this in standard form. Okay, so we have x squared. That's a positive 4x. And then we're going to combine the negative 2 and the negative 3 to a negative 5. And now we have to factor. The bottom, super easy. Difference of two squares. So that's x plus 5, x minus 5. But now on the top we have to think of what numbers multiply to get to negative 5 and add to get to 4. Okay, and that's, what is it? Did you get 1 and 5? Good, that's what I got, except one of them's negative. Yeah, the 1 is. So that breaks down to, since it's a leading coefficient of 1, to x minus 1 and x plus 5. Okay, we can cancel off the x plus 5's, and then we're left with our final answer of x minus 1 over x minus 5. And remember, guys, we cannot cross off those x's because they are not exactly the same. Okay, we can't do that when there's addition or subtraction. All right, number 7. Are the denominators the same? Yep. Do you want to see if you guys can do that first step all by yourself? Okay, just be careful because that's subtraction. All right, why don't you see if you guys can get all the way to the answer. Go ahead and pause the video and good luck. Okay, so when you combine it, you get 3x plus 3 over 3x squared minus 3. I was able to factor out a GCF, but then did you guys notice that x squared minus 1 was the difference of two squares? Yeah, and then we could cancel out more, and then our final answer is 1 over x minus 1, okay? So don't give up after the first time you factor. You might be able to factor it again, okay? All right, let's flip it over. We got 5 more to do. We can do this. So take a look and be careful, okay? So we have x squared plus 3x on the bottom, and then we have to distribute that negative sign, okay? So 5x squared minus 4, that's a negative x squared plus 12x plus 4, okay? Let's combine our like terms. 5x squared minus x squared gives us 4x squared. Let's see, then it goes to plus 12x, and then negative 4 plus 4. Oh, those cancel. Okay, what's next? Well, GCF. The top, the GCF is a 4x, and then we're left with x plus 3. And on the bottom, we can factor out an x, and we're left with x plus 3. Well, the x plus 3's cancel, the x's cancel, and then we're left with 4. There we go. Alrighty. Number 9. So, do we have the same denominator? What operation? All right, so the denominator stays the same, x squared plus 2x plus 1. Let's see if we can combine everything right away. Well, in standard form, I'm going to write the x squared. And now I'm going to combine the 2x and the x, which gives us 3x plus 2. All right, let's break it down. So on the numerator, we're looking for numbers that multiply to get to 2 and add to get to 3, which ends up being 1 and 2. So we get x plus 1, x plus 3. What about the bottom? On the bottom, we're looking for numbers that multiply to get to 1 and add to get to 2. Yeah, and that's just x plus 1. So we get x plus 1, x plus 1. So cross off the things that are the same. And then our final answer, we're left with, I'm sorry, I wrote x plus 2. That should have been, or x plus 3. That should be x plus 2. So x plus 2 over x plus 1. All right, number 10. So right away, I noticed that those are the same, and we are adding. Good. So we have 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. In our numerator, we get x squared. Combine the 3x and the 2x to get 5x, and 3 plus 1 gives us 4. Okay, I'm going to see if you guys can factor the top and the bottom. Now, I'm going to give you a hint right now. You're going to need to do some extra work on the bottom because the GCF, or the leading coefficient, is 2. Okay? All right, good luck. Okay, so I'm just finishing writing my denominator, which broke down to x plus 4 to x plus 1. Okay, and you can see all of my side work down there. We had to split the middle term. Okay, and the x plus 4 and the x plus 4 cancel out. Then our final answer is x plus 1 over 2x plus 1. All right, number 11. You guys are all on your own again. Okay, so just pay attention to everything, pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and there you go. So you should have gotten 3x squared plus x minus 10 on the top and the x squared minus 4 on for the denominator. X squared minus 4, that was the difference of two squares. And then 3x squared minus x right there is what we factored and what it broke down to. Okay? And then when you cancel it, you get 3x minus 5 over x minus 2. All right, last one. Think you can do it with subtraction? We'll find out. Okay, remember, always check. The denominators are the same, and now it's subtraction. Okay, so I'll help you with the numerator. That turns to 3x squared. I'm going to put this in order. So negative times the negative turns out to a positive 12x minus 4. Okay, not 12. I'm sorry, that's 11. I'm making things up. And our denominator stays the same. Okay? So, good luck. This 3x squared plus 11x minus 4. You're going to have to go off to the side and think of numbers that multiply to get to negative 12 and add to get to 11. Okay? Good luck. Okay, and that's my final answer. Now, if you need any help with this or anything else with Algebra 2 or Chapter 8, come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. All right, your homework are the bottom 8 questions down here, and make sure you do that on a separate sheet of paper. Okay? This is it for Algebra 2, Chapter 8.3 notes, Day 2. Thanks for watching.